now. All right, we're locked in.
Men of steel and salt, heading toward giants unseen.
Bridge to deck, we're showing heavy returns between 6 and 100 meters. Stand by for deployment.
Fire meters, bearing 095.
Kai, hold that lever! Boom, move the coil. We're almost clear. All right, pull together now. Harder.
It's in the red, Kai. We're losing the line. Cut the engine now.
All are up, steady now. Watch the starboard line. Cable secured, keep it coming up. Watch the tension on the main hook. Look at the cellular structure here. It's regenerating.
At this rate, it won't be frozen for long. Secure the forward chain now. Right, chain secured. Watch the tension on the main line.
Lower the hook, easy now.
Pull steady!
Now, bow! Cut it now! Almost there, Hung. It's almost free. Lower the hook, easy now. All right, we're locked in. Take the strain, watch the tension on the bow line.
Secured forward.
Slack on the main line. Hook is set. Get back, she's lifting. Keep tension on that line, we're swinging too wide. Bring it left now.
Deep Catch 07. Confirm pallet retrieval in aisle 4.
Make sure you clean the gills thoroughly.
Like this?
Yes, quickly now. The next batch is coming.
Watch the blade there. Check the manifest for 407.
Confirmed. Leviathan fleet.
Leviathan fleet confirms cargo integrity.
Acknowledged. Make sure the Tokyo offload sequence is ready.
Make sure you get some of the broth, it's perfect.
To the families, may we have many more years like this. From sea to shore, every hand carries the weight of the ocean.
Keep the tension on that line. Watch the hooks. Bring it in faster. Boom! Watch the line tension. It's coming up, Nam. Looks like a big haul. Drop the net now, position 3. Watch the starboard side, pull it up. We've got a massive haul. Roll it clear, home. Copy that. Keep it moving. Watch the line, watch the line. Clear on the starboard side.
For every line cast, the sea answers.
The morning in the bay was as cold as a night. The mist lay thin against the water, so white it seemed as if it would shatter to pieces with a single stroke of the hand. The Leviathan stood still like a great hunk of steel breathing, the smoke rising from its exhaust pipes and dissipating into the gray clouds. On deck, 5 men in dark blue waterproof uniforms, black woolen hats, leather gloves, and rubber boots walked about without much conversation. The soles of their boots clicked firmly.
Time check, 45 minutes. Make sure the brine is cloudy. We move in T-minus 30.
On the wet deck, each man knew his job. No one needed reminding. Kai, the captain, checked the deck lights one last time and then looked up at the sky. The thin blue light was like a promise. He touched the railing. Cold steel penetrated his gloves. "Let's go," he said, his voice no louder than the engine. But everyone heard. The mooring
The sea
lines
gives
loosened.
them everything
The water spread out in
and
countless
demands
silver tongues.
everything back.
The Leviathan turned, leaving the dock like an old. Well-traveled animal. The wind went with the ship. The waves stretched out in gray slopes, then opened up into a deep flat surface. Inside the cockpit, Lynn sat in front of the green sonar screen, her eyes not missing a beat. Bright spots occasionally appeared, drifted away, sometimes gathered. Nam stood beside her, writing coordinates in a plastic notebook. The letters neat and regular like a strong heartbeat. Val and Hung were outside on deck, checking the winch, greasing.
Watch the tension on the main line. Lower the hook, easy now. Hold the line steady. Secure the forward chain now. Right, chain secured.
In the cave, pulling each length of fishing line. The work began in silence. The long line slithered out of the reel like an obedient steel snake. One section, one hook, one hook, one piece of bait. Lynn's hands were nimble, piercing, rotating, testing,
Look at this
releasing.
tissue degradation near
Each
the ocular
movement
cavity.
seemed to have been repeated
energy
10,000
readings are
times.
Spiking
The
here.
sea spray turned into white dust, clinging to cloth, to hats, to eyelashes. The wind whipped thin strands of
Hold the line steady. Secure the forward chain now. Right, chain secured.
crawled onto everyone's faces, stinging. No one complained. Offshore, the horizon was not a straight line. It is a slight tremor of the years, an invisible taut thread connecting humans to the vast rest of the globe. Kai often looks there, not to find anything, just to remember that behind each whistle is food and clothing. Barefoot children running on the shore, the chapped hands of an old mother sitting and squeezing firewood to boil a pot of tea. The first hook contact.
Secure that line now. Hold it steady. What was that?
Hang on, we got something big down there. What in the deep blue is that?
By the stars, look at the size of it. Fire the harpoon!
Comes with a thin screech, like a needle scratching on steel. The main line suddenly feels heavy. Nam looks at Han. Without
Container
saying a
bay
word,
3,
both
ready
of them
for
hold
shipment.
on. The winch starts up, a steady roar like a man's chest when climbing a hill. Underwater, shadows hover, looming. The marker buoys begin to vibrate in unison, bobbing like the lungs of the sea inhaling. And then the work shifts to another rhythm, fast.
Set the hook! Got him, swing it over! Clear the line.
Decisive, precise. Whichever hook comes up, that person will remove it. Whichever is still strong, that person will hold it. Whichever fish was too big. Both of them used the gaff to hook the firm part, and pulled it up onto the steel table. The sound of the fish hitting the deck was thick and heavy, sometimes even drowning out the sound of the wind. Blood-mixed water flowed to the floor drain, turning a little red and then fading in the continuous wash. Everyone was wet, but no one noticed. In between, there were small, breathing silences. Lynn looked up from her hand, looking across the deck. Bao was smiling at Nam because of a beautiful
Keep the
tie.
speed steady.
Kai stood at the stern, broad
coming
shoulders,
through.
eyes half closed as if listening to the
Watch
storyline.
the line tension.
Then everyone returned to their places,
Setting a waypoint on
mouths
heavy
pursed,
returns at 90
backs
meters.
hunched,
Stand
hands
by to
not
deploy.
shaking. At sea, taking one's share was not just pulling up what was under the water. It was also pulling.
Gauge shows 45 meters.
Confirmed. Marking
taking the log now.
Get the line ready. It's moving fast. Rope secured.
Oneself through fatigue, through doubt, through the unreasonable grumpiness of the weather. Each day was long like a net, if the mesh of the net was not kept. Everything slipped away without a trace. At the port opened its mouth like a giant machine to welcome ships
Pulling
in.
hard, watch the line.
Cranes stretched, steel hooks screeched,
Clear the
cables
coil,
rolled
move,
on
move it.
pulleys like saw blades chewing on stone. Dozens of forklifts, tankers, and refrigerated trucks followed the yellow paint on the wet concrete. Everything moved.
Heave, pull it up now. It's moving, keep going.
It's spiking, Kai! 40,000 and climbing! The line won't hold!
According to an unwritten law.
Pull steady.
From above, Leviathan was small in the middle of the steam industrial area.
The pulley
But on
is
deck,
jammed. Give me some
sweat
slack.
was still salty
I'm
like
cutting
it
the coil.
seemed.
Hold on.
Slings hugged each giant fish crate, lifted with a deep rumble of the machine,
Heave on that chain.
and brought it to the washing and weighing conveyor.
It's secured
Nom
to the
stood
fluke.
next to the winch control panel,
Okay, take
his
the
thumb
strain.
ready on the emergency stop button. Bow monitored the load swing angle to avoid unexpected hits. Lynn took samples to quickly check the core temperature.
All right, take the strain. Easy now. Watch the sides. She's clear. Pull left. Easy now. All right, steady, steady. Easy now. Watch the swing. Bring it down slowly. We need more crates over here. Hurry up.
And freshness, and recorded them in the logbook. In the workshop, the white light was like a layer of fake snow, covering the steel with a cold, clean look. The long knives moved in a straight line without shaking. The steel blade hitting the bone made a dry, flat. Water from the washing nozzle blew diagonally, brushing away the silver flakes, pushing everything to the mouth of the hopper. The hand moves along the grain, as if remembering every fold of meat. Overhead, numbers dance.
Make sure the Leviathan crates are secured tightly.
Roger that. Bringing the next one over now.
On the screen. Weight, temperature, time, batch code. The workers' footsteps move on the metal floor like a silent dance.
The speed
The
of
crane
this
outside
line
the dock
ensures
has not
peak
stopped.
freshness.
The excavator
And
dumps
the
ice into
biometric
the cold
scanners on the
storage
monitors
chute. The
track
sound of ice
everything.
breaking like glass. The refrigerated container slams shut with a bone-chilling bang. The black container train tracks are long like a marker line, delivering goods to other places, distant cities, distant restaurants, distant... homes. In some land, someone opens a box, looks at the dark red meat, not knowing how the engine roared last night, not knowing how damp the ship's roof was that night, not knowing a mechanic covered it with a coat. On you because the wind blowing through the door cracks is colder than expected. There are nights when the port is as quiet as a steel church. The high-pressure lamps cast a tired yellow light. The cold air from the warehouse door leaks out like a fine mist. 5 people sit on the... iron steps. Their backs against the corrugated iron wall. Their hands holding cups of hot tea. Without anyone
Number
saying anything,
743 looks
they each
good.
tell a short story. Nom tells about his father's
these are the
first
last
fishing.
ones.
Lynn tells about her mother who likes to sit and watch the rainy sea. Hum talks about a torn life jacket that brings luck. Bao tells about his son learning to tie knots on a banyan tree. Kai doesn't tell anything, he just listens. Occasionally smiles. Watches the
Leviathan, 안녕하세요 fleet, this is Control, confirming ETA at Tokyo Port for the whale meat shipment.
Control, solid copy. ETA remains 0600 hours.
steam from his mouth rise and then dissipate, like a silent greeting to the sea. Those stories, seemingly unrelated to work, but they connect the heaviness of the day with the reason to get up early tomorrow. People go to sea not only to bring fish back, they go to bring back enough stories to survive another windy season. The new season arrived with a brighter patch
Children
of
are
sky
having such a
in the
good
east.
time tonight.
The ship had been barnacled and repainted, the Leviathan on its
Every
side shining like a polished balloon.
Carries the weight of the ocean.
Keep that tension steady. Watch the line. More speed on the winch now. Heave!
Hook it now, Hung!
It's taking the strain.
More power on the winch!
On the
Bring the
wharf,
arm down hard.
bait
We've got a
barrels
massive
were lined
storm
up.
here.
Large coils of rope lay at the foot of the crane. Oil filled the tanks. The young man, the new apprentice, fumbled with his stiff waterproof suit. Lynn handed him a small knife. Said, "Don't drop it," and showed him how to grip the handle. Kai stood at a distance, glancing over to see how fast he was learning. The wind beat against the flag, making a strong flapping sound. When the last knot,
Watch the starboard side.
For every line cast, the sea answers.
Got it. Move it up.
was time. Nam leaned back against the deck post, watching the calm water for a moment. He remembered his father's calloused hands, who had taught him the simplest yet hardest thing: don't underestimate the water. The sea is neither old nor young, it is only true and steadfast. The rest is your business. Kai blew a short whistle. The whistle was the punctuation mark for all the unfinished business on the shore. The ship left the wharf. The figure on the wharf raised his hand.
T-minus 10 minutes until preservation complete. Check the salinity levels now.
Faces blended into the new sunlight. No longer pale, the anchor rope pulled into the trough. The water trailing in a white line. Leviathan turned its bow, facing the horizon, waiting. In the cockpit, Lynn put down the logbook, looked through the glass. On the sonar screen, the lines were smooth. The sea had not said anything today. But everyone was ready to
Watch the
listen.
swing coming
On
down
deck,
now.
the winch had been oiled. The test cranking sound
bring
was
it over.
warm like a throat clear. The coils of
Easy, easy. Bring it down slow. All right, she's secure. All clear.
rope lay still. The buoys with crimson flags were like the heart of the whole trip. The ship entered deeper water. The waves grew longer, arching like the back of some sleeping giant. The sky opened up. Old stories were neatly packed behind, giving way to new ones. Starting with a knock, a lift of the hand, a thin squeak. On the steward, the smallest sound in the craft, but enough to call everyone to their positions. In the afternoon,
Container Bay 3, ready for shipment.
We have an anomaly on the temperature gauge for shipment 7B.
Acknowledged. Increasing conveyor speed on auxiliary line.
the slanting sunlight made the steel on the deck shine in streaks. Hum stood checking the rope, rubbing at the fork. His eyes squinted. He told him to try dropping a buoy. Watching the wind angle, Nam counted the remaining bait, tapping the pen on the lid of the box rhythmically. Lin opened a pack of bandages and taped the scratched spot to the edge of the table. Kai sat quietly at the wheel, listening to the engine to adjust the throttle smoothly. He was not in the habit of waiting for luck. He waited for the right moment.
Where the sea meets the machine, the work never ends.
Temperature on line 3 is spiking slightly.
Acknowledged. Adjusting coolant flow now. The flow is increasing on
When he
this
dropped
side.
the first hook into the water,
Yeah,
the sea
maintaining the
surface
rhythm.
reflected the sky, becoming a dark mirror. The circles spread out, chasing each other and then disappearing. The sound of the line flowing through the soft roller was like pulling an old song off a cassette, scratchy, warm and real. By the 10th hook, Tom, the apprentice, had caught the rhythm. His hands dirty and wet but his eyes bright. Lin gently touched his elbow to signal, "Very good." He nodded, not smiling.
Where the sea meets the machine, the work never ends.
Because he saw that the others were not smiling either. Here, being happy was as happy as doing the right thing. Night came very quickly. The deck lights were on, the yellow light revealing the white breath of people. They neatly stacked the empty barrels, covered them with tarpaulins, and leaned against the railing to eat a piece of cold rice. Cold rice was sometimes delicious because people knew there would still be rice tomorrow.
Rich, this is Kai. Start
In
the
the
haul
sky,
back. Keep the
there were
tension
no
at
stars to
5,000.
tell
Watch the
stories.
starboard cable.
There was only wind and wind. Underwater, there were stories that never existed on paper. The narrator was the rope, the bait, the vibrating buoy. The listener was the hand, the eye, the back, the knee. In between, there was the sound of machines, the sound of steel,
signals
the
are
sound of
increasing
water,
rapidly,
and a
Captain.
few short
Multiple
curses
large
that
contacts.
fell and then disappeared.
Identify the source,
The
Lee.
next morning,
Are they hostile?
the port reappeared with cranes outstretched. The ship was sluggish, tired, but full. The giant machine on shore did its job.
Harpoon.
Echo 1, we have visual confirmation on the target.
My God, it's massive.
Keep tracking. She's passing the stern now.
Lifting, moving, and putting heavy loads into the cold cage. In the workshop, the knives went straight again. The water washed in streams again. The
Leviathan,
barrels were
this is
neatly
Dive Team
labeled.
1.
The
We have a
screens
critical
were
failure on
digitized
cable
again.
gamma.
No
Pull us
one
up.
shouted. History, only the hours, the pay, the shifts, and a plan for the next trip laid out on the table. By afternoon, the sun was sweeping a thin layer of gold across the side of the ship.
Hold fast, men. Don't let it break the line.
Aye, Captain. Hold it steady. The winch is failing. Keep the tension on the line.
Man down. I've got him.
Brace yourselves.
5 people stood at the edge of the dock, watching Leviathan from afar as if it were an old horse unsaddled. They did not rub its back, they just watched, as the quiet countryman watched the house he had built with his hands. A child ran up and took Bao's hand. Are you tired, Dad? Not tired, Bao answered, and perhaps for the first time that day he lied.
Multiple large heat signatures directly below. They're almost here.
The ice is breaking. Get back!
But for those who go to sea, sometimes a little lie like that is a way to keep warm, so that when the north wind comes, you still feel you have something to lean on. Night falls. The fishing village lights up. On the wooden table, a pot of hot soup steams. Adults talk softly. Children laugh loudly. Someone turns on the phone for the group to see the weather news. The wind will eat.
Hold the line, it's slipping! Get the braking gauge now! Watch out, she's pulling again! He's pulling free, hold the line! Secure the spikes now! Keep going, almost there. Target bearing 045. Range 120. Fire now!
In 3 days. Everyone nods. No one asks more. Just that is enough to understand that soon the ship will go out again. Tomorrow, the sea will still be there. The steel will still be cold. The line will still be long. The hook will still require a steady hand. The cranes will still sweep the arc on the shore. In the factory, the packaging machine will still make a click sound as regular as the night rain.
What's happening?
And somewhere in the world, someone is eating dinner, not knowing that between them,
Look. Fire the harpoon! Now! Grab my hand. Hold on tight. Watch the cables. Get them up quickly.
and that piece of meat is a team of people who have stood for 12 hours in the steam,
Secure the line.
holding the line with their shoulders,
Pull us under.
brushing away the pain in their wrists with a band-aid, and holding back sleep with a sip of cold tea. The story of a sailor never ends. It only pauses when the ship docks, when his wife and children hug him, when he squeezes his sword.
Hold on! Brace for impact! We have to secure the sonar!
Thread woven with salt and wind, connecting from generation to generation. If there is one thing the storyteller wants to keep, it is probably the sounds. The sound of the rope squeaking on the roller. The sound of the winch holding a heavy load. The sound of water falling into an empty barrel. The sound of a knife hitting bones. The sound of breath puffing out like smoke. Those sounds combine to form a song without rhyme or words, but anyone who has been at sea for a long time will know it by heart. On the old dock, the sound of the welding machine rings out again. It is no longer the rumbling of the old Leviathan, but a new sound, higher, more even, sharp like a wind song. Between the welding sparks, young faces appear. They wear the same color clothes, but stand differently, taller, slimmer, with bright eyes that have never seen a storm.
This is the final entry for the Leviathan.
We did what we came here to do, but the cost was high. We are coming home.
Kai sat down on a warm wooden chair at the Warside Cafe. A cup of strong black coffee in his hand. He looked out and saw a group of young men surrounding the new ship. They called it the Leviathan II, but Kai said nothing. To him, it was still just the next ship, not a replacement, but a continuation. Nam was now the technical team leader for the winch repair shop. Bao was in charge of safety training. Hung was running the material supervision. Lin was the only one still at sea.
What is that? Are those claw marks? My God, how big is it?
These readings, they're not whales. Something's moving fast and deep.
It's following us.
But she wasn't standing on deck now. She was sitting at the control desk of the satellite navigation system. Her eyes still as calm as the first day. On the first morning, when the new ship was testing the engine, the sound of the engine was not yet clear. Kai stood on the side, his hand resting on the newly painted railing, the paint still smelling of solvent. A young man, about 20, thin, with a cloth wrapped around his neck, ran over. Uncle, why is the engine so loud?
The static is clearing.
Wait, what is that? Are you seeing this, Ling?
Alien structure. The symbols are pulsing.
It's responding to us.
Cut the lines now! Grab the axe, hurry! It's pulling us under!
Kai just raised his eyebrows slightly. New machines are always noisy. We have to let it sail for a few days to see if it listens or not.
We're being pulled in!
He smiled, the smile of someone who has never been afraid of waves. Lin came down from the stairs on the cockpit, holding a new electronic fishing line drawing in her hand. He will be the one on the sonar, she said, pointing at.
Absolutely breathtaking. We must proceed with caution.
The young man. You need to teach him how to read currents and heat circuits. Kai nodded. The sea is still the same. Just the way you listen to it is different. They tested the new fishing line right on the wharf. Instead of steel pulleys, they used lighter composite shafts. The buoy now has GPS, each beat emitted as a coordinate.
Listen up, Leviathan crew. We've got incoming weather. Secure the trawl immediately.
But even though the technology is different, the hand still has to know how heavy or light it is. Still has to measure by feel. Kai stood behind,
Watch the winch.
watching the apprentice tie the first hook. The line was still twisted. He didn't say anything, just walked over, took the line, and did it slowly. Tie it like this. When you pull it back, it won't squeeze your hand to death.
Pull, pull! 1, 2, 3, heave!
Look at the size of that blip. It's accelerating.
I see it, Ling. All hands, brace for impact.
Prepare the electric harpoon!
His fingers went over the line like an old guitar player tuning a string. The boy watched intently, then followed. When he hooked it, he nodded, smiling a rare smile.
Confirmed.
On the
Massive
other side of the deck,
contact bearing 040.
Lin set up the sonar,
Activating floodlights
teaching
now.
the two girls. Young girl how to read fish shadow on the screen. This color is not fish. It's cold water, she said.
Hold on, I've got you. 3, 2, and 1.
fed, and here, if you see a steady curve, it means the school is going in the right direction. Don't just look at the numbers. Look at the movement. One girl asked, "Are you afraid of the sea?" Lynn smiled softly. "Of course, but if you're not afraid, how can you respect it?" In the afternoon, when the sun went down, the steel color on the ship turned dark orange. The old people sat on the stone steps, watching the children clean up their tools. No one spoke, but there was something very strange in their eyes, at once secure, empty, and proud. Nam pulled out a pack of cigarettes, lit one, and then handed it to Kai.
Get back, quickly!
Kai shook his head. "Now when I smell smoke, I remember the smell of engine oil more than cigarette smoke."
Look out!
They
What is
laughed,
that?
deep like the sound of waves hitting the pier.
Breaking! Get back!
Hung pointed to
Brace yourselves! Harpoons! Now! Aim for the thick hide! Don't let it reach the ship! Fire! It's coming through! Get down! Look out!
has the whistling of cables.
Strong, we're losing it!
Only the sound of electric motors. It sounds so clean. Kai replied, "As long as there are people who understand ropes and water." Then clean or noisy are the sounds of life. On the day Leviathan 2 was launched, the sky was cloudy but windless. The giant crane lifted the hull from the dock, the water lapping around as if in greeting. Paper flowers flew in the sky. Sticking to the steel hull. Lynn stood at the head of the bridge, throwing a bottle of wine against the bow of the ship. The bottle broke, making a crisp sound like an oath. People cheered. The ship's whistle blew long. But in the crowd, only a few people were silent, those who knew how strong the wind was.
Steady! Brace the railing now! We've almost got her! Look out! What is that thing? It's coming right for us.
And what the water could take away. Kai looked up and said softly, "Let's go. The sea is waiting." Leviathan II's maiden voyage was to test the fishing lines and electrical system. No one was as tense as on previous trips. The work was now recorded by data.
Come on, turn it!
Anemometers, current gauges. But Kai still went out to the deck. Looking at the water, he told...
Brace for impact!
the young man. "There is no machine that can measure smell." The apprentice was surprised. "What smell?" "The smell of the water changes. When the current is cold, it smells of iron. When there is a school of fish, it smells of oil. Learn with your nose, not just with the screen." Lynn heard and laughed lightly. "You are still the same." Kai replied, "Yes, I still believe the sea does not like people who trust machines too much." When the ship returned to port after 3 days, the sun was high in the sky. The first boxes of fish were brought down, not many, but clean and intact. The workers in the workshop clapped. The young man laughed. Someone opened his phone to record. Lynn brushed their hands away, not to show off. "It's just the first day." Nam looked at the statistics board. The automatic fishing line recorded 97% stable operation. He nodded. Val walked over and said softly,
Set course
"In the
for the
past,
southern ridge.
just pulling a big fish."
No signs of activity yet, but the temperature drops fast, like something beneath the surface is breathing.
These readings, they're not whales. Something's moving fast, growing, and deep.
It's following us.
Which was fun. Now it's fun because no one got hurt. Kai replied, "That's the most beautiful difference." That night, they sat around the old wooden table at the wharf shop again.
It's not just an animal.
The wind was gentle. The streetlights reflected on the water. No one talked about work.
no reflection.
They told
It's
stories
absorbing
about
the
their
signal.
children,
Prepare the
about the
descent
windy
rope.
season, about fish that had changed their swimming pen.
It's responding to us.
About the new vendor at the market corner. The apprentice sat with them, listening quietly. When everyone stood up, Kai patted him on the shoulder. The sea doesn't choose anyone. People choose the sea. If you choose, don't leave. He nodded, his eyes bright, his voice firm. Yes, I will go. Early the next morning, Leviathan 2 left the wharf in silence. No sirens, no cannons, just the sound of waves gently lapping against the side. From afar, the silhouette of the ship gradually became smaller. Only the row of red flags fluttering in the wind. Kai stood on the shore, hands in his pockets, watching. Beside him, Lin said, "Are you really resting now?" Kai replied, "Not yet. I'm still waiting for her to come back for the first time." The sea before them opened up, as still as a mirror.
It's massive!
But in that mirror, reflected two generations. Those who had sailed in the frost, and those who would steer the ship by satellite signals. Between them was something that did not change, the heartbeat of the sea. Slow, deep, and steady.